Hey, traders, welcome to the stream. The Weekly Candle goes stream in 1 minute. So I guess... Top of the hour. And Bitcoin's the same price it was 3 days ago. Great. That's it. It's cool that it didn't dump or anything, but, you know, futures are open, stock futures, and nothing's really happened. Daily. Technically, I mean, purely technical here. Bullish engulfing candle confirmed in 30 seconds. And yeah, I mean, like if Bitcoin where it is right now goes to 17,000, you know, 560 or whatever to go test that Black Saturday low, it's not really that crazy or that surprising. It would not be surprising at all. You're in a level now where there's nothing here. So down 16.2 or 17.5. Sure, man. You're in coin flipping territory right now. And you know what I'm talking about, or what I've been talking about is it's not really about Bitcoin. There have been a handful of assets that have been showing potential opportunities if Bitcoin was to go higher for you to potentially ride. Jesus chimes. New weekly candle has been created. Thanks so much. What a week, man. We can go bullish on the daily. Amen. All right. All right. So that was it. Like the crescendo of a movie. Lots of hype in the chat. Here's your highest weekly candle close since October 31st, man. We did it. If you look left, not a whole lot here. I mean, you go to 19,400 here, it's really not that weird. I mean, there was no formal back test of that level as resistance at all. I guess there's this one wick high from January 1st, 2018, but I mean, is that really going to be where Bitcoin reverses for real and goes lower? So you just, if it happens, I mean, that's what I'm saying, like, you know, 17.6 or whatever, even like 18.5, those levels, if we catch rallies to go test those levels as resistance, you can't be that surprised. So, but that being said, if you just start continuing to dump here, not going to be that surprised either, based on the fact that if you look at the monthly, look at it. Just look at a few days ago, a bearish engulfing candle, lowest monthly candle close since October of 2020, multi-year lows. And looking left, there's just nothing here, man. Nothing here till $14,000. So monthly looks awful. But yeah, I just, again, Bitcoin's just at that point where, hey man, it dumps, pumps. Nothing's going to surprise me anymore where it is. There's no like major, there's definitely not an edge on significant time scales on Bitcoin. But buyers are defending a local level from November of 2020 here, 16.2, and there's not much resistance where you are right now. So I know that's not like giving much clarity, but who said that traditional technical analysis was supposed to give you full, clear clarity at any given time on any given asset? That's not what TA is. So it can be really cloudy right now. Like we cannot really know where Bitcoin's going exactly next. So all we're doing is looking for individual assets that are showing us the things, the predictable patterns, all the variables we look for on any chart, on any given day, on any market. Some altcoins, a few of them are showing that. Most aren't. Most look terrible. Bitcoin's not in a spot that's amazing for giving us that discernible edge where we have a higher probability of a coin flip's chance that it's going up or down. I hope you understand that. That's what TA is. Managing your risk at inflection points. Speaking of inflection points, kind of cool to see what Ethereum's doing, unlike Bitcoin really. You've got Ethereum that broke back above 1224, 1266, some massive inflection zone throughout the year. But it even goes all the way back to 2018 once. It's a dead cat bounce high. Right there. You're above that. Okay, if you're above it, you can clearly see what can happen. It can go to 1420 and it's not crazy, man. So you're doing that. The Momo shifted some. You're holding up above levels, but then again, look at the 4-hour 200 moving average. You're below it. Not really that great. Let's try to get back above the 200. Okay, so that's, you know, roughly the same price it was at the end of the month of November. No engulfing candle by any means. No edge, nothing implying anything here. You never hit an 886 on the daily. But it's cool that you're above 1224. The longer you stay above 1224, the more likely it probably becomes you see at least a test of the down sloping resistance, the supply line that goes all the way back to the top, right? When Ethereum was seeing almost $5,000. And if you ever broke that, then you'd be testing 1420, because history tells us that's about, I mean, it's a very thin order book between 1224 and 1420. These levels have been set all year. We've been talking about, right? 2K, 1730, 1420, 1223, and then like 980, $1,000. So that's it for now. I mean, let's go to the weekly if you want to see it. I mean, this is why we're here, just to see if there any sort of more information. I mean, this is still a pretty good idea until, you know, until the rally occurs after it never hit an 886, just hit an 86% retrace. So right where you are right now in the weekly, if it went to 1365, the weekly candle high close from January 2018, 1365, that's not crazy. I mean, it goes and tests that. That's not wild at all, not weird. And that's it. A well-established downtrend, making about the same lows you made in the summer, and that's where we are. Okay. Hope you had a good weekend, right? For sure. We go to B&B, whatever, just doing, you know, it's the same thing. I got like local structure, I guess, down sloping resistance, and you've got a buy wall here. I'm not putting much of any kind of significance on a break of this level here. It's just there. Maybe you'll catch some resolution. It's gonna go up if Bitcoin goes up. It's not gonna be weird if Bitcoin continues to rally at least another 5% or so. Another 3%. Bitcoin goes up 3 more percent. Is BNB gonna dump here? No. It'll go up with Bitcoin. Okay. This one's like not great for the swing trader, unless I guess you're playing the local range between 260 and 300. But how do you even have a 3-to-1 reward to risk? I mean, how is it equitable for you to be swing trading BNB here? So, right, either 225 or 350. That's it. You just put in a lower high than previous high. Cool story. It will pump if Bitcoin pumps. Great. XR. Well, I guess we can go to the weekly. Weekly's kind of okay, I guess. You had a bullish engulfing candle last week. But again, there's no like structural development that looks great, right? I don't care what it's doing. It's not showing anything that we look for. If it goes up, wow, coin flip landed on heads. If it goes down, wow, coin flip landed on tails on this one. I mean, right? There are others out there, though. You know it. There are others out there where it's like, man, we got greater than 50% chance of upside for sure. A lot of variables lined up, giving you confidence that we would catch higher prices on them. These bigger ones, most of them not looking like, not great, not terrible. Speaking of not great, not terrible, XRP, that, you know, it's an identifiable pattern. Oh, we recognize that. Above inflection points, making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. Okay, kind of uptrending at least since the summer. Not as bad. I mean, outperforming Bitcoin, Ethereum, and just butting up against that 200 moving average on the 4-hour. It's really not bad. I mean, I can't be that surprised if it breaks upward, right? Which means Bitcoin would have to break upward, but okay. It's not the best one out there. It's all right. I like its performance so far. but it's not like the one, which sadly, ironically, the ones are like Super S coins. Which takes us to the 5th largest crypto in the world that's not a stable. And you know it so well, don't you? It's Doge, man. It's Doge. It is the one. I can't help that. I can't help that it like market participants painted a textbook bullish shark. They had already put in the bottom long before, right? The bottoms were already put in. That harmonic completes and makes just yet another higher low. Type 2 returns, I could recognize that. We studied that, we know that. And a more significant rally on the second low. And then you're breaking above like key inflection points from history, and then you're formally back testing them as support, and then you're rallying, and now you're somehow showing reaccumulation until it changes. That's what's happening today. As like absorption of remaining supply at 10 cents or 10.5 to 11 cents. It looks like that. I missed some of my lights too. No one, it just kind of like randomly went blue. I don't know. All right, I guess we can go to the quad screen and just look at the 60-minute, do a deeper look. This, you know, the less significant time scales, just the local ranges here. As you can see, Bitcoin top left, Ethereum top right, XRP bottom left, Binance bottom right. Still inside of the ranges. XRP, in fact, ooh, it's kind of like you've fallen back into the range. You've back tested the range's top as resistance. And that's about it. Even breaking kind of a little demand line here. Not putting too much weight on these, okay? I'm just showing you the structure, showing you how it's the first low, the first high. Okay, let's see how price action correlates at, you know, you have the huge sell-off, the selling climax, and then you have that low that gets put in, and then the initial high. And then it's like, after that, what does the price do? Well, it's respecting at least the top of the range pretty well for now. And you could definitely like forget that. I mean, you could say that there's like price contraction going on, isn't there? I mean, I think it still broke this scrub level, but you just look at it like, hey man, you just have neutral consolidation here, where flip a coin it goes up, flip a coin it goes down. But yeah, you are at the top of the range, right? Yes.
QNT, my brother, happy weekly candle close.
What's up, Bitcoin boy? Thanks for the 20, dude. Yep. We'll look at QNT, which is another one of the ones showing us what we so covet and desire as swing traders, at least here, and a lot of other places in the world too, but not most of them. So yeah, man, I'm just like, and then, you know, bottom right, Binance, whatever scrub supply line maybe broken near the top of its range, local range, going back to July. All right, just gonna do what Bitcoin does. Okay, you know, Ethereum, you know, 1350, not gonna be weird at all if that's tested. But I mean, I think 1420 is not that crazy either on Ethereum. That's where we stand. Okay. Crude oil pumping, well, that confirmation low, right? I mean, as buyers defended that freaking level one time, no, just kidding, the second time. What a little head fake too, a few days ago on US soil. So those are your big ones. Might as well just go, you know, that was a request right there. Might as well just knock it out. Since we looked at the big 5 cryptos, we'll go to QNT as of right now, because speaking of reaccumulation structure, this one's beautiful. This was one that had all the makings of a varsity athlete. Gentlemen in the mix. And so far, living up to that. Where, look, man, we can identify something. We've studied, the research has been put in for 100 plus years, okay? We understand trends. We understand harmonics completed in uptrends. We understand levels, not just the 886 locally, the harmonics completion zone, but it just happens to be that where that 88% retrace is happens to be literally the low, the top of an inflection zone from 2021. I mean, that stuff doesn't come around often. It's pretty rare. But the great news is you can scan through thousands of charts and find them out there. I'm just saying, like, relative to how many charts you're going to scan, it's rare. But when you find it, that's the edge you're looking for. And in the end, I mean, like, really, from a low to a higher low, you had hidden bullish divergence too. I mean, you get 12 hours, probably the same, right? That's a continuation implied. It's not just, it's just the moving average, 200 moving average being regarded as support twice. It's beautiful. And it may still fail. You have to know that even if you find something that's rare because you need all the variables to have that edge, it still doesn't give you a 100% chance it's going to play out. That's why position sizing is important. That's why risk management is very important. Having a stop loss set up somewhere strategically, okay? So that's your QNT. I mean, you're up against some high from August, but I'm thinking, like, if this is actually real, then you got a $150 to $156 target.
Can you look at
minimum.
Icon X for me? Thank you.
Yeah, ICX. We'll look at Icon, South Korean S coin. Sure. Sanchez. Cheers. You'll kind of get what I'm saying, man. I'm trying to, like, really beat it in your heads during the quiet, boring times. Because when things get nuts, like say this goes berserk, say Doge, Shiba go insane and break to the upside and everyone's celebrating, you're probably not going to have as good of an attention span as you have right now to taking in these educational moments. Okay, so 151, 156 minimum, and then you break that, you get a 205 again. That's the price you saw in mid-October. And if you ever broke that, well, forget about it. I mean, that's where things get extremely interesting. That's where you go, wow, man, you're going to a full 886 maybe, which is probably around $400. So looking at the weekly on this one, it's crazy. I mean, look at the weekly on this one. That three white soldiers kind of, it's kind of reaching. That first soldier is kind of scrubby, right? So it's like 2 white soldiers and 2.5 soldiers, white soldiers. Just kidding. What's up, real estate? Thanks for the 20 super chat. No request, man. You can request something if you want it. How about we just look at REIT, the Dow Jones Real Estate Investment Trust sector for you. We'll just do that. Okay. Thanks, man. Right, you look at the weekly, pretty clear, 156, and then probably 200 after that. If this is actually happening, the momentum shifting, the trend is reversing. Yeah, not many look like this. You have to understand. Right now, not all S coins are created equal. Most look like dog crap and will rally. I would imagine Shiba, Doge, QNT, the other ones, I mean, Bitcoin Cash, a few out there that like have great technical arguments for upside. I'd imagine if they're playing out, that means the scrubs, 99% of the scrub coins that didn't show a discernible edge would probably pump too, because with everything pumping, Bitcoin's going up. So it's just, a lot of these S coins, most of them anyway, like they dumped, they had broken supports, they're in the middle of the, two inflection zones, like there's no strategic entry, there's no bullish divergence, there's no harmonic completion zone being tested, nothing. It's just, that's where most things are right now in crypto. Okay. Yeah, we'll just do that real quick. Why not, man? Well, thanks, real estate, man. But dude, this is for you, okay? It was pretty gross, right? I mean, the 3 falling peaks on the REIT, again, Dow Jones Equity, all real estate investment trusts. Look what's happened recently. Because, you know, it's good for everyone to pay attention because this thing was like crashing. And then finally pivoted with the macro. And look where you are. I mean, there is this old high, the pre-COVID crash high, just before things collapsed. As of Thursday, the first formal backtest of that level that was once resistance is now resistance again. Man, I'll tell you, if you're looking at the S&P 500 that is up against that supply line, the mother of all supply lines, trend lines, you got the volatility index legitimately right at the area where it's reversed multiple times this year. And now you're showing me the REIT right at that previous 2020 high, back testing that resistance, and if you can even believe it, pretty much showing hidden bearish divergence here. I mean, like the high, then the substantially lower high with all this waning momentum. That's a pretty solid argument that it's like about to reverse again. I mean, or continue down, right? The continuation of the prevailing trend. Pretty much being implied right now, but it's just your first test. It could test it a few times or whatever. It could even break it, man. I know financials, they
Thanks
did that.
for the education in these times. I appreciate you keeping us from having to eat that books.
Bruh. Thank you so much for the bugs. 2121. How many mealworms can I buy with that? Anyone got a US dollar to mealworms pairing? Thanks, dude. For that, yeah, thank you, dude. Yeah, German. If you want this is a German Klaus Schwab bug eating accent. It's a variation between $21 and I think $23.99 or $24.99 or something like that. I can't remember. All right, so that's where we are, real estate, man. Whew. The argument, the odds are kind of stacking against the bulls right here for now.
In the mix.
Okay. So let's move back to crypto. Where, I mean, it's just, is it worth it to look at the ones that are just, hey man, I've heard of that S coin, but it's not showing me anything. Oh, let's look at YFI and YFII. Hilarious. Okay, YFII made the joke 2 streams ago about it. Hey man, is it gonna be like a 3 rising valleys on crack or something? And right there, November 2020, look what it's done, respecting those levels so well. It was up 30% yesterday, and it's beginning to pump again on the new day. Wild. Very wild here. Perfect spot. That's a spring back test, technically. What an insane spring back test. Right, you sprung October 17th, happy birthday, and then pumped, and then dumped, and then the formal spring back test. And there's not much of anything here till $2,150 to $2,600. God.
Is Hex back in the range? Wick off accumulation cancelled. Might
It had
form a
been.
bearish bat if it gets around 0.06.
What's up, Red Will? Thanks for the 20 euros super chat. We will look. I think it fell out the last I had checked on it, but who knows with that one. It doesn't follow the macro. It's illiquid. It does all kinds of weird stuff. So yeah, we'll look. Okay, thank you. YFI. It was like, hey man, you had broken out of this little rectangle. It was up 12+% yesterday, and now you are testing a very key inflection point. The key of keys. This is maybe where it reverses, but if you broke 74.53, you got to understand how insanely bullish it could be. Like, you are on a bullish breakout watch right now. Yeah, it looks like there's a supply line here too. That, look, you'd already broken that. Even when you do this, you're breaking it, you're adjusting, you know, so all that, you're out, you know, you've broken out. And what I was discussing about this one, almost yelling it, was this is exactly where you're looking for M shapes to complete. I think that's like where you can get the most incredible performance from these things after long extended downtrends and then it just happens to develop at the basement. We're talking this asset made a 98, 99% retrace from its all-time low. And then you're telling me this happens? That's very promising, very intriguing. And I'm telling you, above 74.53, the sky's the limit. So many crazy things can happen. On Thursday, yeah, it was Thursday's stream. It's like this, like stuff like this can happen. It can, and very well could. And you gotta think, that's like Ethereum. Like Ethereum's showing kind of similar, not like this, but it's showing an M shape that went to an 85% retrace. It didn't go to an 88, so it could be complete now, even with a type 2. But yeah, you normally like these to hit the 886. Dang, man, that's wild, isn't it? So at least keep an eye on it, pay attention to it, right? Yeah, broke above the 50-day simple moving average yesterday on that pump, that 12% pump. And, you know, the 50 and the 200 are getting close where, hey, any extension of this rally that's been going on would give you a golden cross in probably a week or so. Week and a half. All right, had to look at the YFI, brothers. I don't know. I mean, this is going to do a type 2. It didn't do a type 2 last time. And what do you mean last time? Well, if you remember, if you were an avid viewer of this stream, we had identified a bullish shark that hit the 88. This is where this low was created. I mean, you can't make this up how perfect it was. It wasn't really there as anything before. It was just, hey man, that's a shark. There were the head and shoulders too, and it played out, but then turned into this, and that's exactly where it went. To moon. $95,000 off of this cipher. So last time, it didn't have a type 2 at all. It was a type 1 and done. But yeah, you had to be an OG for that. You had to be around, man. There's a chance we look back on this in a few months, and this was it. This was the bottom on YFI. Okay. So what was that? ICX for Sanchez. That was one that wasn't really great or anything. Yeah, just like nothing. Like there's just nothing redeeming about this asset. One thing that there wasn't, and now maybe I will just tell you what's happening. There is an inflection point, a swing low from December of 2018 and February of 2019 and August of 2019, and look at this, even a back test March of 2020 before it went insane. That's what's happening. You have broken back above that level, and you are still above it, barely. I mean, my God, that's it. It just spent a Sunday evening, man, or a Sunday, a nice Sunday and a Friday. What was once resistance support, even like locally, lately, late November, it was resistance, and now it's support. I mean, that's the one and only redeeming quality of this chart right now, is what it's doing at that level. So let's pay attention. We understand what's happening, but beyond that, lowest low of the entire bear trend, and so far the lowest high. Only lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, constantly. Bear trend, trash. But hey, man, gotta wonder if this is at this level that is so important. Would it do the same thing? Would history repeat itself? Look, man, I mean, this was an M shape. It had already reversed its trend, right? It was 886 of right there. That was like a bullish freaking bat pattern, Bartley, gorgeous. You don't really have that right now. It was the lowest low and the lowest high. But yeah, I'm intrigued by that, and I imagine that is why you requested it, Sanchez. It's correlation to one of the most important inflection points so far, right? Yeah. Is that it? Let's go to Hex. Yep. Hex. Is it back? It is back inside. Now look, we got all these levels here that are very important from history. They've been, good God. When you talk about a spring back test, that was the M shape. I mean, they've been regarded, like, for sure, and just was regarded as resistance. But if you're talking about
Gentlemen in the mix.
just having, I'll get rid of them just for the sake of Wyckoff. This is, I'm doing it for Richard Wyckoff. Okay, you have. Are we gonna do this? Something like the candle close and the wick low. Do that. It's a little zone down there, you know, and then you got a top. I'm assuming we would go with this right here, and we would have probably a creek with 1 touch and 2 touches. We have a creek right there. That would be insane. But yeah, if you're looking at it like this, you are kind of back in it, but barely. But you know, one of those Wyckoff schematics, it's the worst. You know, this is like trying to spring here. Early part, I mean, of like phase, what, C or D. So yeah, it is. I would think for now. You fall back below 2.8 cents, nah, you're not. But above 2.8 cents, yeah. I'll even plot a little zone here for you to see. That is all I have. Okay, that's your hex. Not great, not terrible, but yeah, interesting. There is certainly no pump on Hex. Crypto Clan, 0 pump on Hex. Okay. So on the new week, we've got a little bit of upside. Bitcoin's up $29. Let's go to one of my favorite looking technical arguments right now based on, you know, or in this market, which you know it before I even say it, Shiba Inu. It is a massive joke. Merry Christmas. Got the Pepe Santa hats on top of the harmonic, okay? Season's greetings. Just make sure it's only on the daily. It looks weird off of that. Okay. So there are just things going on here that unreal. Okay. There's something I did not even really recognize, but it didn't matter. But look at this. You got this like supply line. It goes back to December of 2021. Welcome to December of 2022. How many times? Multiple times. You can't really see it here. It's 4 tests over the year, and you finally broke it late October. But then you dumped with Bitcoin. That's okay. Because you needed to formally back test it as support. That's what you did. You did that the date of November 22nd with a bullish engulfing candle. That bullish engulfing candle caught follow through, and it got us back above a very real inflection point, June 15, 2022, but the candle high close from September of 2021. It's everything, and it makes this chart. It's one thing like that, and then it's the 886 locally, from this low from the summer to this higher low accumulation, completed bullish bat pattern. So you got all these things happening. This is what an edge looks like, right? This is what you're always looking for on anything. It could be Google, Amazon, Bitcoin, gold, silver, orange juice futures, whatever. But it just happens to be presenting itself on Shiba, right? Horizontal line, successfully formally back tested as support. A local M-shaped pattern complete. A supply line back tested that goes back a year ago. I mean, just all those things are just so powerful. And the upside is 40% upside. 40%, okay? You look at the 4 hour, it is artistic. It looks like a dream, an actual dream. I'm dreaming, oh, I'm sleeping and I'm dreaming, and wow, inverse head and shoulders on my mind, and it's Shiba. And it still may fail, but my God, man. I'd rather have something like this than just looking at ICX. I mean, whatever that springback test, Bitcoin pump's probably going to hold, but just going to some random S coin and having no edge, just hitting the lowest lows, no momentum shifting, no 886s locally, no inflection points from history being back tested successfully and catching follow through off of it, no supply lines being back tested formally too. None of that. I'd rather take this all day than I would one of those. Full moon coming. Yep. I don't know when. Do you know when the full moon approaches? Let's go back to total. That's fine. Total, man. Total. Remember, buyers defended. Not only did they defend, they tested the defense. That's a springback test, right? I mean, that's unreal, dude. Unreal. One time, two times. So there's a lot of upside if that's actually not a joke. If the spring and the back test of spring is real, you have tons of upside potential, which is exactly what I would desire for the ones that are showing such incredible setups right now. Like, imagine this going to just make a lower high than the previous high, but an 886 in a downtrend, right? Testing the supply line, testing the horizontal line. Imagine where those altcoin trade setups would be. They would be, yep, you've been sitting cash most of the year, but if you took a shot on these, man, boom. Keeping up with inflation. Oh, in 4 days we'll have a full moon. Thank you. Sweet. We're going. I guess. Guess we would just go to, like, look at the S&P 500 futures, I guess. Whatever, if you want to see it. Trying to fill time here, man. This is a bear market. Here's your S&P 500 futures, mother of all trend lines. You're at it. You tested it last week and you're still below. You closed the week below it, but you're up 0.15% on the new day. Really not that crazy. Rising wedge. We got a rising wedge on the S&P futures, on spot price, you name it. I mean, it is not unreasonable to believe that reversal soon, you know, even if you did that, whatever. It's not as good. It's not as pretty as it is on spot price, but it's there. It could go to 4,200, right? And test it and still be in the rising wedge. So, and it's still not being a bull trend or anything. Just because you break a massive supply line like that, I mean, that could be the biggest bear trap ever, right? You run up, you hit 4,200, you make an 886 from the high to low down here, and that ends up becoming what, man? Like, you can't be that surprised if this occurs, okay? You just can't be that freaked out. Like, whoa, man, an 886 happens to be at a massive inflection point, you know, and the market's staying irrational longer than people can stay solvent, right? Because everyone's just like, oh, a max short now, and it runs up to one more fib node. It's probably the 786 right now. Can't be that surprised. Dow Jones did it, exceeded it. Yes, Soulful. Yes. Been that way. Doge too. So what do you think? You think we'll hit an 886, break the mother of all trend lines, or we're reversing now or soon? Because there's not much else to do besides reverse violently or to break it. There's nothing else. What about golds? Gold's still right there. I mean, it looks pretty. I'm pretty impressed with that higher low put in and just a retest of this high from 2022. Just kidding, from 2011 and 2012. That is where you are. I mean, if this isn't got you on the edge of your seat, nothing will. I mean, really, you're looking at gold and you're looking at the inflection zone that is so important. It has played such a massive role on ups and downs. You're at it. So how could you not be wanting to pay attention to gold right now? You would. Breaking that, you got another $100 of upside. You are above the 200-day simple moving average for the first time really since June. I think that's pretty cool. And that's it. That's where you are on gold on the new week. A little up. Not really. 0.09%. Bitcoin at its highs of the day, 17,241 right there. Nice. Remember where Bitcoin bottomed? A 1272 from the Black Saturday low to the bear market rally high. Pretty much twice. Once and two times. So a test of that, you can't be weirded out by that. I'm just hoping total wide open spaces on a springback test. That's how we're going to get paid on these trade setup altcoins, right? That we're showing a discernible edge. So there you go. That's your upside on Bitcoin on the 60-minute. You can see it. It's so easy to see. 3.7 to 5% upside there, right? Ethereum's not as much because it's been outperforming in its range. You got about 4.3% upside in Ethereum. XRP is a little different, right? Where it's at its top of the range, but it's not broken out. BNB, same weird situation on these two. You can see, look at this. I mean, Ethereum's up about 1% already. New week. Silver is nice, man. Silver is pretty. I agree. It wasn't, and then it was. And all of a sudden it starts outperforming gold. And it's like, what? 91 more likes to what? 91 likes, I would imagine. All right, highs of the day. Right there, almost taking out those highs from the first. It'd be the highs of the month. Could be happening. Oh, till 300. Wow, man. Impressive. Cap up. Climbing though. Up 0.76%. Just testing the, December 1st highs. And there's not much else of anything here until 17,569. The 200 moving average. Wouldn't that make sense to test the 200? You haven't tested the 200 since November 8th, the crazy bull trap. So it'll be almost like first time testing in a month, right?
Hey brother, do you have education somewhere outside of your stream and Patreon? Harmonics are my next subject to learn. As always, peace. 0.00388563 ETH.
I think you would want to learn harmonics from the harmonic godfather, the guy who wrote the books on them, Scott Carney, harmonictrader.com. Easiest answer of my life. I can't believe you even asked me, but I'm happy to advocate for his literature. Harmonictrader.com. You can get it virtually. I like the books. The physical books are nice. Because then you can put little tabs on them and stuff. It's nice. Okay, Bitcoin, new week. 0.86% up. Continuing to climb. Highs of the day. Nice. Yep, literature. Mixed bag. green and red. Just waiting for it, man. The pop. I don't know, man. We kind of like did the update, you know. And kind of did the update. And when you do the update, and you look at the futures and you do all that stuff, and I'm looking at chat, and I'm like, trying to see, like, is there anything that people are writing on the live chat that is like any questions or any of that? Not really. It's kind of dead. So it's kind of like, all right. And just turn the music up, leave the charts on. Yeah, look at US oil, whatever. Oh, US oil up almost 2% on the new day, on the new week. Here it is. So we'd like reassessed here, and it's like, all right, I'm gonna make that the second anchor point for the trend line, and we're gonna look at it like a potential dragon now, where it turns into, you know, you break that supply line, that's the tail, and then you got, you know, 110 upside, 115 possibly. I really like how buyers defended it, and let's see if we get some follow through. A run to $87 would be nice, but in the end, what really needs to happen is you got to take out the highs of $93, the high from October 10th and the high from November 7th or whatever. You got to take those out, man. So it's a good start, and it's at an area where it's very easy to strategically set up a stop loss, right? Because your stop loss would be either below $78 or $75. And why you're longing here would be like your argument. It's only about an argument. Is you're trying to play the confirmation low. The confirmation low, right? Market participants confirming what was once a resistance from 2018 and 2021, what was once a support in 2011 and 2012, is now support again. Not once, but twice. The price action you received at this same level, look, here, August 2011, first time, then the second time, 1 and 2, and then it runs. And what does it do? Maybe it makes an 88% retrace. It hits an 886 perfectly before reversing and going right back down to the same effing level. So you have an argument here for upside on US oil based on what it's doing, what it did in history, and what it could potentially do. I mean, in the future, right? That's what's happening. Buyers defending for the second time at a very real level, important level from history, okay? We'll see what happens. Probably not good for gas prices or anything, but okay. Looking forward to seeing what happens. Did it, Jack? That's awesome, dude. Hopefully, I mean, whatever you were in or whatever. Okay, Bitcoin, again, it's about the same. Orange juice futures pumped on the open, I think. Look at OJ. It's crazy, right? Head and shoulders, then massive bullish engulfing candle back above 203. It's just ridiculous. It's like unstoppable. I mean, this is still valid. I mean, OJ has to go above 212 to invalidate this momentum shifting structure. But my God, man, like, what are you doing? You're really going to pump up almost 3% in the first couple hours of the new week? That's OJ. Crazy as F. Soybeans up 2. Gasoline futures up. Wow. Now this one's like a cipher. Look at this, man. I mean, like, it's still there. Yeah, falling below it. Okay, whatever. If this holds here, though, do you imagine what happens to gasoline futures? I don't have that much confidence in it, but still an M shape. Could still obviously easily go to an 886, which is very close to what it just achieved on the 29th of November. Yeah, so, I mean, here you are, possibly putting in a second low, and a dragon easy dragon look right there. Undeniable, right? If you ever break that, that's the tail. You break the spine, or that the supply line is the spine of the dragon, and then you start creating the tail. So interesting on RB1 gasoline futures. YFI up almost 5%. Crow's up 2% on the new day. Sol's up 1.75%. Litecoin up 1.5%. But this one's trend has reversed virtually. It's kind of in a Doge category. All right, I think $84, if it keeps going, will be tested. If you ever break $84, there's some upside. You'd be going up 25% roughly, 24.5%. If you ever break, if Litecoin market participants can ever absorb the supply at $84, that would be where you're going next. Very, very confident in that. But I know, I mean, I knew $66. If you ever broke that for real, you go to 84. You did it. But just bullishly consolidating, like so well. Well, QNT's up and continuing to rally here. Whoa, it's beautiful. Good start to the new week on some of these. Bitcoin Cash was another one that was very pretty. Still very valid here. As long as it stays above 105 and 108, that zone, you are golden for upside. I mean, like, this is a spring back test, a formal spring back test, the date of November 28th. Even back testing the supply line of the old scrub wedge. I'm just saying, you could be going to 134 here. If this thing, if this is real, if what we've identified is valid and it actually plays out, you have a good 20% upside on Bitcoin Cash. Yep. Not a joke, man. At all. I'll start with a tweezer bottom reversal. All right. Well, guess that's it, man. That is it. So let's leave you all with that. Thanks for watching, and fourth best day to join the Patreon if you want education, trade setups, access to my charts that I post daily. You join the Patreon. It's pinned above, patreon.com/MitchRayTA. And you get access to the premium Discord chat. So, and most of all, you're supporting what I do here, 100% crowdsourced. You're supporting the team that's behind me, making this all happen and possible. So, there you go. So I'll be back. Until next time, respect the TA.